So I was sitting back and I was recording some clips, just thinking of what I could possibly get for the channel. Now, I'm already stocked up on all the good stuff, you know what I'm saying? I got some Black Ops 1, I got some World at War, Call of Duty 4, I got all the good things for you guys to show you over the next upcoming months, or however long it's going to take until Call of Duty 2020 is finally released to us. But since I'm so stocked up, and since I have so many clips and things like that, I'm kind of good for, I would say, a few weeks or so to not have to touch any of these other games. So I was thinking to myself, it's like, I'm done with clips. I'm pretty stocked up. All I got to do is just really think of commentary topics and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? Let's hop on some Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Let's actually give this game another try. Now, for those who don't know or are brand new to this channel, I have not played Modern Warfare in weeks. Maybe even months. If you follow me over on Twitch, which is J-Bone the Man for any of those who want to watch some live streams from me, you'll see that mostly I play other games. I play Call of Duty 4, World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2. I pretty much play any old school Call of Duty game, or I go ahead and mess around on Minecraft, because for some strange reason, you guys love watching me play Minecraft. And I gotta say, it's always a hilarious time. So if you guys want to watch some funny, entertaining streams, make sure you go over to my Twitch channel. The link is in the description to this video. And if you don't want to go to the link or whatever like that, if you just want to go directly over to Twitch, it is J-Bone the Man, the exact same spelling and everything like that from my YouTube channel. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that I pretty much play any other video game in the world over Modern Warfare. I absolutely despise Modern Warfare 2019 for multiple reasons, which I won't really be covering in this video. I've covered it many of times, but it is going to be one thing that I want to cover specifically in this video. But I'm going to talk about all this stuff later. I just want to continue with the story here. But I did decide to load up Modern Warfare. I gave it a shot again. I went into the main menu. Honestly, the menu music is good. The graphics are gorgeous. It was a breath of fresh air to actually see a video game, a Call of Duty video game to be specific, that looks so good. Because, I'm so used to all these older titles like you're watching right here with Black Ops 1, where the graphics are, outdated. It's an outdated video game. It still plays good, but everything else is outdated. The glitches, the bugs, the graphics, all the other things are outdated in the video game. So it's a breath of fresh air to go ahead and actually witness a Call of Duty game that actually looks half decent. But I finally loaded myself up into a match, and I would say like maybe 1 to 2 minutes in, I instantly rage quit. And the funny thing is I was actually on Shoot House, one of the better maps in Modern Warfare, and I just couldn't stand it. I couldn't stay in. I couldn't put up with the bullcrap that the game was dishing out to me. And I'll tell you the main exact reason. The maps are trash. The gunplay is smooth. It's fun. It's entertaining. I'm not going to lie. I like how the guns work in Modern Warfare. I like the movement system as well. It's unique. It kind of throws you off, especially if you go back and play the older Call of Duty titles. Relearning tactical sprint is a little weird, but, it's nothing too complicated. I learned that in like the first 3 minutes again, how to use tac sprint correctly and stuff like that, and slide canceling. All the usual typical, try hard, sweaty moves that you use in Modern Warfare came back pretty quickly. But the one thing that did not come back quickly was the map design. God have mercy on my soul. These are hands down some of the worst maps we have saw ever in Call of Duty history. And I know a lot of you guys will think, oh, maybe Ghost has the worst maps, or Advanced Warfare has some of the worst maps. I know a lot of you guys probably think it's a lot of other Call of Duty games out there that had tons of worse maps. But I'm telling you right now, Modern Warfare 2019 has some of the worst map designs I've ever seen in the history of Call of Duty. This game specifically relates their maps around the style of a noob, around camping. There's no way to push. There's no way to be aggressive. If you look at a lot of these other maps in these old school Call of Duty games, and sorry about that, I don't know why my phone was actually turned on there. It's always in silent mode. It must have been because I was out all day and I need to hear my phone if something important happened or anything like that. But as I was saying, a lot of these other Call of Duty games in the older maps and stuff like Firing Range, Nuketown. Nuketown's a perfect example compared to Shoot House. Okay, I'm going to compare Nuketown and Shoot House to one another because honestly they're both small maps. They're both kind of similar to scale and stuff like that. But Nuketown, even though I hate it with all my heart, I think Nuketown is some of the worst gameplay you'll ever get out of a Call of Duty game, because me personally, I like medium to large scale maps because it gives you a little bit more flow, more movement. You can actually engage in different locations and rotate around the map in certain ways compared to Nuketown, where people just throw 5 stuns across the map, stun you out, throw 50 grenades across, grenade you out, and then it repeats. It's the same cycle on Nuketown. But the thing that's different from Nuketown to Shoot House is that Nuketown has actual fair angles. The two buildings, they both have two windows that can be both peaked at the same exact time, and whoever has the better gun skill will win the match. There's one Jeep on the one angle of the side, that's only one side, so you both have to push up, you both have to engage it. Whoever takes control of the Jeep has that choke point. The other side is basically just two fences that you have to peek through. Whoever can get to the fence first will probably have a better advantage, or whoever can just, get a better angle or a better aim is going to have a better advantage. Basically, Nuketown has the point, if it's not, grenade and stun spam, it actually has decent flow. But when you go over to Shoot House, everything about the map blows my frickin' mind. And like I said, this is one of the best maps. That's why I'm going to compare Shoot House to all the other maps. Because if Shoot House isn't a good map, all the maps are trash. Every single one in this game is even worse than Shoot House. But Shoot House is the best one that I can describe because it's so small and it's easy to discuss. But every time that you push out of an angle, every time that you try to engage with an enemy or push up to a choke point, the enemy team will always have the advantage. Whoever has the camping advantage is going to win that gunfight. And your only options are to completely flank around the map and pray to God nobody's watching their flank, or just continuously rush them and die over and over and over again. There's no momentum in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. There's no point or no flow in this video game. And that's what I despise so much about this god dang awful title, is that it just completely discourages movement. I mean, like I said, look at Black Ops 1. This game was not one of the fastest Call of Duty games. Neither was Black Ops 2. Neither was World at War, Call of Duty 4. None of these games were made for run and gunning. They were made for all playstyles. Yes, you can run and gun, but a lot of players like to play campy. They like to camp in corners, like to hold angles. Players like that have been here forever. They've always been in Call of Duty games. But the difference between now and then is that back then, yes, they have always been there, but the campers didn't completely overwhelm the rushing fan base, and the rushers didn't have any other options. No, the rushers always had an option. They always had other flank routes and other ways to push an enemy. But in Modern Warfare 2019, there is no way for the rusher to actually enjoy this title. The camper has every single advantage in this video game. They specifically made it so campers will succeed. Whether you're camping up an office, or what is it called, junkyard, if you're camping on the truck and junkyard, or if you're camping in the middle or behind the wall, holding the middle lane, there's always an advantage for the campers. And it just boggles my mind why it's like this. Like Crossfire from Call of Duty 4, I'll flash up a picture of that. This is a perfect example of good gameplay. Like Shoot House, yes, there is a point that in the middle, yes, you can camp it and you can hold the angles and stuff like that, but you're still able to move. You're still able to flow on the outskirts of the map. If you want to use an SMG, if you want to use an AR, a shotgun, you can still move. It's still momentum into this map. But in Shoot House, there is no flow. There is no momentum. There's people holding the middle, and then there's also people holding the right and the left. People camping up top in office, so you can't push up that way. People camping in junkyard, you can't push up that way. And then the only other possible flank is the flank up middle, which is people camping that way. There's no momentum. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. The gameplay is shit in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. And like I said, compared to Crossfire, where yes, there's snipers, there's tons of snipers covering the middle. If you cross the middle of the street in Crossfire, more than likely you're going to get shot in the face by a sniper, but that's your own fault. You're running in the wide open where snipers are taking control of that territory. If you want to move up on those snipers, there's two sides of the map, the left and the right, with tons of building warfare, tons of close quarter combat, and yes, you could push up, you can actually engage, and there's not multiple choke points that people can camp and hold stupid, just ridiculous angles on you that you can't counter. You can flank those snipers sitting in the back of their map. You can flank people's spawns. You can move. There's momentum. There is flow. That is the number one key factor, and I've said this in past videos as well, but this is the number one key factor to any video game, or any Call of Duty video game to be exact, is flow. If there's no flow in your video game, it is going to fail 110%. It will fail. That's why the only people who are really enjoying this game are the more patient crowd. And I can't blame you. If you're a very patient player, if you're a campy player, if you like to hold angles and hold positions and play the game more tactically, yes, you'll enjoy Modern Warfare. It's going to be a good game for you, and I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm happy that this year you're finally able to get something positive out of Call of Duty. But as a hardcore Call of Duty fan like myself, I don't want to see that. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I just simply do not want to see that out of a Call of Duty game. Like I said, that was always the best part about Call of Duty. It allowed campers to camp. It allowed rushers to rush. Everybody had their own playstyle, and that's what made Call of Duty so unique. You know, it's not like Rainbow Six Siege, where there's only one playstyle. It's not like Valorant, which is only one playstyle. It's not like CSGO, where there's only one playstyle. It's not like Battlefield, where there's only a couple, maybe 1 to 2 playstyles. This is Call of Duty. This is what makes it so popular. This is why there's millions of people who buy this game every single year. This is why this company makes billions of dollars every single year. This is why this company makes millions of dollars every single day. It's because Call of Duty caters to all playstyles. Anybody in the world, whether you're a camper, a rusher, a medium player who likes to do a little bit of both, a tactical player, whatever your style is, you can do it in Call of Duty. That's what makes it a good game. But Modern Warfare 2019 specifically screwed this game up, ruined it. And like I said, I tried to revisit it. I tried to give it another chance, but it's so bad. It's literally, like, I'm being dead honest. It might be one of the worst Call of Duty games I've ever played. If it had better map design, if they changed the minimap and changed some of the other core features, maybe it would be better. But even if they changed the minimap and even if they did lower footsteps and brought back Dead Silence, the maps are trash. You cannot have a Call of Duty game with trash maps. That's just the moral of the story. If the maps are bad, there's no way around it. Every map in this game just caters to one side. Basically, you have to fight for everything. You don't get a chance. You don't get to compete with another player, which is why this game is designed for noobs, and for people who fight and say this game isn't designed for noobs is going delusional. It's completely designed for noobs. It's meant for one person to take one position and completely destroy anybody else trying to get to there. Every other Call of Duty game allows you to compete. Look at this map right here. Look at this map. 2 sides, 2 locations for each side, and everybody can compete. Everybody can get to one point of defense where they can hold up shop and shoot the enemy team, and they can engage with one another. They can have a gunfight. But in Modern Warfare, there is no such thing like that. One team gets a height advantage, or they get a choke point, and the other team gets nothing. There's no fair playing field in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Like I said, it's designed for noobs. It's designed for a single player to be more aggressive, which is a decent thing, because it encourages players to get aggressive so they can take control of that choke point. But after that, there's nothing else you can do. You're stuck. If you're versing a good enough team, they're going to cover all the flanks. They're going to cover everything. So there's no way to compete with that one individual player. He can hold that angle for the whole entire game. And because the way that the maps are set up, you can't approach that player. You can't engage with that player. You can't do anything to that player. That's why I hate Modern Warfare 2019. That's why I despise it so much. Because like I said, after going back to these old school Call of Duty games, Call of Duty 4, World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2, all of these games, every single one, and then revisiting Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, it is clear as day that these are hands down some of the worst maps in the world because there is no flow. I'm going to say it again. If there's no flow in your video game, it's going to flop. I'm sorry to say, it's just going to be an utter failure. But guys, if you enjoyed today's commentary, make sure you go ahead and leave a like. And if you hated it, by all means, you can go ahead and dislike it. If you're brand new to this channel and you enjoyed the commentary, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button. Also, if you want to chat with me, you can follow me over on Twitter, @JabonaMan. And if you want to catch me live stream, I do that over on Twitch, @JabonaMan. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.